Japan is my home country and I have lived here for 20 years, and when I moved away, my distance has put me in perspective with its extremely unique culture. Japan maintains a combination of strengths as a nation populated with over 125 million people, has the third largest economy, and is the fourth leading exporter in the world. It is a formidable manufacturing base composed of world-class infrastructure, has a large and affluent consumer market, and is an epicenter of advanced technological know-how. And as for its music industry, it's ranked second in the world in terms of physical sales revenue just after the United States. However, even as a perennial early adopter of technology, it seems that Japan's latent shift towards the digitization of music has set Japan apart from the global music industry. While the rest of the world has made a transition to digitize music, such as streaming websites and downloading digital formats of music, Japan's sales come from their physical copies of music. Yes, the CD. I want to show you around Tokyo to get a better understanding of why CDs are so prevalent and marketable in the nation. With the outstanding sales figures, there exists a compelling ethnographic implication about the rather unique Japanese culture. Along the streets of Japan, you can frequently find stores with one common theme. So let's go inside.
Okay, we gonna
This is their idol outfit. Or this. My investigation has surprisingly led me to digging up Japan's obsession rooted in their culture for its love for the joshikose, or Japanese schoolgirls, and the otaku or geek subculture, and their pseudo-relationships with pop idol groups. You are here with Ayaka Hayashi to investigate the shocking realities of the Japanese music industry to find out what, or shall I say who, is behind this lucrative market. With their coquettish outfits decorated with big red ribbons, blue blazers, and striped neckties, or short plaid skirts and loose socks, the Japanese schoolgirl uniform is more than a wearable ID. It has been a statement for decades, with roughly 95% of high schools in Japan requiring them. Wearing the uniforms, or seifuku, is not simply the norm, but a rite of passage. According to government surveys, nearly 50% of Japanese women aged 18 to 35 are single, and nearly 60% of men the same age are single as well. It seems that this equation has contributed to two polar opposite ramifications in the Japanese society. While the new generation of Japanese women are economically inclined and hardworking at their jobs, men instead have become less driven at the workplace and less inclined to be in real, responsible relationships. Therefore, especially in a populous city like Tokyo, where sex is on tap, men are able to find sexual pleasure, or shall I say a replacement for arousal, anywhere and at any time. If they feel like cuddling with a girl for a couple of hours, men can go to cuddle cafes. If they want to have a drink with some girls, there are hostess clubs and maid cafes. Feel like having a girlfriend for a day? He can rent one. But what is interesting is no one is actually having sex here. But the time and energy spent is just like having a relationship, rather a pseudo-relationship. I am now here at Akihabara, Japan's launchpad for new trends including video games and anime, digital gadgets, and a district where many young female pop idol groups have launched their careers. In a place with such a flourishing market for technology and young girls who strive to reach stardom as an idol or idols, it has created a unique subculture to Japan, and they are the otakus or the geeks. And in Akihabara, perhaps we can find a large percentage of these otakus who fit in that 60% of the pie who are single, at least in Tokyo. These otaku represents men mostly in their early 30s and older who are not only obsessed with animation and the gaming culture, but the ones who are in fact in pseudo-relationships with virtual girlfriends, but also with these Japanese pop idol groups who wear outfits that mimic the Japanese schoolgirl uniform. Therefore, these fantasy-based relationships that seem to be a prevalent dating status of Japanese men have become a huge target market for record companies in Japan who have created a tactical marketing strategy to get these otakus hooked. Today, I could guarantee that not one person in Japan would not know the idol group by the name AKB48, named after Akihabara, Akiba for short, where the group's theater is located with its original roster of 48 members. These girls are not just performers who are fulfilling a schoolgirl role, they are literally teenage schoolgirls who perform in front of their audiences who are predominantly older men. Perhaps these fans worship the girls the way idols are meant to be worshipped, lining up restlessly, waiting outside a theater dedicated solely for this all-girl pop group, and when the show starts, cheering them on with song and dance in a most religious fever. But in reality, it's all very taboo. But for these men, the appeal of these girls is the memory of a first crush, sitting in a classroom surrounded by girls in skirts and sailor outfits. So here are these absolutely innocent-looking girls who are satisfying men's sexual desire through entertaining them with their performance and serenading these otaku with their love songs. So, in Japan, a country that is said to still have a continued inclination of buying physical copies of music, or the CD, remains a primary source of revenue for the record labels and an indispensable promotional tool. But when it comes to CDs, with the flattering schoolgirls on the front cover, well, that's even more enticing. And these men, or the otakus, are completely obsessed with them.
Right now I'm here at the Tower Records CD store. As you can see, there are so many in Tokyo, so many CDs here. And yeah, we'll see if we can find some AKB48 stuff. So, I found it. It's the AKB48. You can see so many CDs. I guess it's this whole section here. AKB48, AKB48.
And like being in a relationship with these girls, idol otakus spend their time, energy, and even their money on these girls, except what they're actually doing is investing in purchasing collections of AKB48 goods, multiple copies of the same CDs, and concert tickets for the chance to spend with their favorite idol and shake her hand at the end of the show. But who is behind all of this? It is just one man, and he is Yasushi Akimoto, who has created a major shift in the music industry in Japan. The man is a major record producer, lyricist, and television writer, and has the overall upper hand over Japan's music and entertainment industry. Yasushi is responsible for creating AKB48 in 2002 in the aim of making stars out of ordinary girls. And today, the group has become a national franchise, meaning that there is not only an AKB48, but a trail of other idol groups that were created by Yasushi himself.
The concept of AKB48, as I mentioned, is that anyone can join. When we built a theater in Akihabara and launched AKB48, people living in distant prefectures weren't able to go and see them perform. Because news of AKB48 had spread by way of our website, people said they want to see their performances live. That's why we created new teams with people who were born in Nagoya or Osaka. Kids in those areas can audition as well.
So, is Japan really thriving through their CD sales? Yes, but there are contending factors to this phenomenon. For one, record companies have made it difficult for companies in Japan to get streaming licenses. But what's more, the otaku culture and their obsession for pseudo-relationships with schoolgirls enticed by their girl-next-door look and lyrics with sexual innuendos has set a solid niche market for continued sales of CDs in Japan. So, without Yasushi's cohort of AKB48 puppets, we may have to recalculate the actual CD sales in Japan. But, for now, we know there's no stopping for Yasushi.